And I didn't say it, but that was the language, that was the body language everybody gave. The conversation just kind of shut down and everybody walked away and just kind of laughed at this guy. And so what I'm saying to you is I think it's really important that we have these conversations because your community is at war. If you don't believe you're black and at war, then just look at the way the world treats you. You're at war whether you like it or not. Whether you believe you're in a war doesn't matter because they've declared war on you. They've declared war on your children. They don't want your son to ever grow up and become a man because men are competitive. They don't want your daughter to grow up and become a safe, protected woman living the soft life. They want her to be the rugged black woman that's overcoming being a single mom and right. She need to be a strong black woman because she got to overcome all the hell that the world is going to dump on her. That's what they want. They don't want good things for your kids. Half of all black people don't even want good things for their kids. I got it out the mud. You got to get it out the mud. I ain't leaving you nothing. I'm gonna spend it all before I die. Right? That's what you've heard people talk like that. Like I'm gonna spend it all. I won't need it in heaven. But what about your kids? They're gonna be slaves. Like that. Why would you sign your kids up for slavery? Well, that's a slave mentality. That's something that we have to confront. We have to think about this in a structured way and look at those opportunities. I think that every single time black wealth gets annihilated, every single time we have something big and successful that disappears, every single time you have a Whitney Houston that dies from a drug overdose, every single time you have a Death Row Records that goes bankrupt, every single time you hear about an athlete that loses $100 million because he spent money on stripper thongs and fur coats, there should be an autopsy. There should be a funeral where we mourn the loss of black wealth. Here lies a $1 billion empire that we're now going to put in the grave. We're now going to, we sing the church hymns like, Lord Jesus, right? Right? I'm going up yonder, right? This black wealth, this $1 billion empire is now laid at rest because trifling Negroes threw the money into the garbage can, right? And then after you do have the funeral and you mourn the loss of black wealth, then you have an autopsy. You got to go and dig into the dead body and dissect it and figure out. My sister does autopsies for a living. You got to figure out the cause of death. Because if you don't figure out the cause of death, then you will never understand why the death keeps happening. You have a virus. You have you can call it the Niggerosity virus if you want to, whatever, the immaturity virus, the dysfunction virus, the generational curses that are like a virus that show up and they destroy black wealth. And nobody does the autopsy to say what happened here. How do we avoid this happening in the future? Do we have an antidote? Do we have a vaccine that we can give to the kids that will protect them from this virus? And this is something that I want you to observe. This is economic consciousness. Consciousness is awareness. Awareness is sight. I want you to have your head on the swivel and I want you to start paying attention. Whenever you see wealth and opportunity disappear, I want you to practice doing the autopsy and say, what happened here? How do I avoid this? What can we learn from this? So when you look at Death Row Records, there should be an autopsy because when Tupac came out of jail, this man single-handedly, I mean, this man went to the studio and sat in the studio 24 hours a day and was making one hit after another, and every single one of those hits was millions of dollars in generational wealth. How did that all get destroyed? We've got to study this. If we don't study these things, then we're always going to be confused. Now, speaking now to show you how good I am at taking my analogies around the world and bringing it back to where I started, I compared Tupac to Google. So let's go back to artificial intelligence.